Welcome to Small Steps. My name is Seth Potts and I want to show you the left, right, and mid functions. The left, right, and mid functions allow us to parse out substrings from a single string of data. For example, what I have here are a couple dates. A lot of times in our field we get the date and time field kind of crammed together in what I'd say is a fairly odd format here, and typically what the end user wants to see, or what we want to see for that matter, is a more standard month, day, year kind of format. So the left, right, and mid functions are fairly popular to pull out different parts of a long string like this. So what I'm going to do is walk through this first one here and just pull out the year, month, day, hour, minute, second, just to show how these work. Now the left, we'll start with that. This is a very simple function here. So when you start typing, you see it returns the specified number of characters from the start of the string. So we're looking at this, it's going to pull out from the left side. So when you do type this in, it does a pretty good job of walking you through what you're doing here. So the text that we're looking at, this string of data, is going to be that field there. And then the number of characters we want. So for the year is 4 years, or sorry, 4 characters here. So 2022. So what we're going to want is this format, 4 characters. So what this is saying is that we're going to pull out from this the left 4 characters. It pulls that out. I'm going to skip over just to show the right is practically the same as the left. It's just pulling from the right side as opposed to the left. So you start putting that in there, and we'll use that same text. And then, as opposed to how many the 4 characters from the left for the year, we're going to pull out the last 2 characters, which is going to be the second from this string here. So put that in, and see this right 2 go. So other than the left and the right, just for the basic purpose of these functions, everything else is going to be somewhere in the middle. Now, the left and right functions had just the 2 arguments, just what field are you looking at and how many characters. Mid has 1 extra argument here. So you see it returns the characters from the middle of a text string given the starting position and length. So the difference here is as opposed to knowing automatically it's going to start from the left or the right, you're going to click that same field. So that is our text string, and then we need to know what the starting number is, what character is that starting number. So in this, we're going to move on to the month, and this format has the year, then the month and day, an hour, minute, second. So we already know the first 4 are the year, so character number 5 is the beginning of that month. So the start number is going to be that 5, and then the number of characters is going to be 2 for the month. Put that in, and you see it'll pull out the 8. We do the same with the day. Go ahead and put that mid in there, this text string, and it's going to be 7 in is the starting point, and then 2 characters again. I'm going to do the same thing all the way through these here. So the mid for this string, the start number being 9 and the number being 2 characters. And once you get those down, you can kind of pick through. It is kind of convoluted if you have a longer string and you're trying to pick out something very specific. Let's just say looking at this format of date and time that we're given a lot of times is kind of difficult, easy to look at the wrong thing and see. So breaking it down this way makes it a lot easier. So once we get this last one in here, you see a good breakdown of how you can separate things out. So now from this, we were able to pull out pretty quickly the year, month, day, hour, minute, second. So that's the breakdown there. And then just like any other formulas, we have a couple more dates, date and time fields here. You can just highlight all those in the bottom right corner. You can either double click or click and drag down, and it'll separate the rest out. Now, one difference where this is more useful than actually doing the text to column, which we've talked about before, is that you can use this mid, left, and right in in a situation where you want to get all these characters out into a specific date and time format. I've got one over here that I've already done. You can see it's kind of lengthy, and it looks pretty convoluted here. I know for people that aren't considering themselves experts or even intermediate, a lot of times you might get a product and you see something like this and it looks daunting. In fact, you probably don't even look too hard at it to see what it's doing, but this is a good example. So you see the result here from this formula: change this mess of a date and time field that we're given and turn it into probably what we want to see, more of a month, day, year, the space, and then the hour, minute, seconds. And it's not that bad once you're doing it, once you kind of get these functions for left, right, and mid here. So just walk through real quick what this did and what it's saying. Pretty much what we did with these before. Since the year starts out, we're not going to start with the left function. We're starting with the mid function to get to that month. So we did the mid, just like we did down here in the month. And then just kind of like when you concatenate or use the ampersand here, you're just adding this ampersand, is just saying we're taking this mid and we're going to add, and then with the parentheses, a slash. So that's how we get the slashes in there. But you're basically just adding all of these together that you just did into whatever order you want, with whatever characters between. For slashes, we got a space in the middle, and we have the breakdown between the hour, minute, second. So anything you'd want to put in there, you can add just like that. But with being able to do all this into one formula here, it's an extra perk of instead of using the text to column. So you can use all those together, and you can use them in conjunction with a lot of other formulas as well. So you see here the result, it gives you that, and you can do the same thing, click and drag down for these, and you see it'll do the same thing there. So good little breakdown of the left, right, and mid functions. If you found this tutorial helpful and would like to see more, click like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video coming up on the len function.